Okay. Sorry, my camera was not on at all. That's why. So, I was wondering what the hell was going on. Like, don't tell me. I just bought a brand new camera like a couple of months ago after my other one took a crap on me. And yeah, been kind of crazy. But yeah, it's been pretty quiet, guys. I mean, really, other than some of the news that we've had, we're kind of seeing like, depth signings. What the Eagles are going to do here, like the Nicholas Morrow signing, I thought was pretty good. I think it's a pretty good signing, and I think with Nicholas Morrow, you're going to have a lot. You have a guy has done pretty well in did pretty well in coverage in the past. Is a tackling machine. I think a nice pair up with Dean is going to be nice with both of them in there. But obviously, the biggest news is obviously Bijan's pre-draft visit, that it was official, and things could happen for a reason. Now, I know people like to, people think I'm just saying this because I'm saying it, but I'm being real honest right now. There's a big chance here that the Eagles are going to switch things up, and this draft is going to be much different than what everybody expected from the Philadelphia Eagles, and I totally believe that going forward. That's just me at the end of the day of what I think could really happen. So, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Mitch, what's going on, Mitch? What's going on, dude? You guys haven't subscribed to Mitch Kofsky? He does cover the Philadelphia Eagles. If you guys haven't, hit his profile and subscribe to him. Appreciate it, man. What do you guys think? So I put a poll up. I don't know how many people are going to be in here today. So this is obviously, I was supposed to stream a couple hours ago, but I had so much stuff to do earlier. So, I couldn't stream at 11 o'clock when I wanted, but I hope everyone's not angry with me, upset at me. So, yeah, I think we're all right. But let's see who's in here. We got Luis. We got Christian. What's going on, man? We got Walt. We got Chris Scott. Chris Scott says, Shakes, I look forward to these streams. Been retired for 2 years. I'm 52. I do some comedy on the side. Wife, 2 boys, age 22 and 19. Just letting you know a little. Damn, I never knew that. You know what I mean? So you kind of start to match things up with people. But Chris, man, I appreciate it so much, dude, and definitely enjoy retirement, man. Enjoy your life, I get it, dude. I get it. Brad says draft Bijan and do sign a true slot corner. The offense is as close as unstoppable as the offense can get. I might be asking to look for trade. I'm actually probably looking to trade Quez Watkins, to be honest with you. I think I'm looking to trade Quez and a 4th round pick to the Titans right now for Kevin Byard for a safety, at least. I'm not really worried about trying to get a number 3 receiver. I'm not entirely worried because I don't think it's going to be too hard to find a number 3, to be honest. I feel like there's so much they could do at that spot. You know what I mean? I think we'll be all right. The dude, Chuck Stover, what's going on, bro? Kyle says, you think we're pretty much done until the draft? I think there'll be some signings. I think they're going to hit on another player, but I think there's still a lot of defensive linemen still in free agency right now. You got Quentin Jefferson. Calais Campbell actually is visiting the Falcons, I think, when I saw the news from yesterday. Leonard Floyd on the edge is still out. I still think they need like another defensive end. They got Leonard Floyd out there. Yankton Ngakoue still out there. Jadeveon Clowney still out there. You still got some good names. Still got some really good names out there right now. Still got some good ones. So regardless, if Bijan is picked at 10, who are we releasing or trading? Too many running backs if we draft him? No, it's really not, because they'll just put Scott at special teams for the year, and obviously if somebody gets hurt, Scott will do double duty. I don't think there won't be too many running backs because you're going to have a running back that does special teams. So carries a Bijan at 10, Kancey at 30. How do you feel about that? I wouldn't mind it. Look, I don't think Bijan at 10 is, I think for me, Bijan at 10 is only because Jalen Carter and Will Anderson are taken. I think they move up for Bijan with the second first round pick. That's what I think they do. If Jalen Carter is there at 10, I think I would take him. I never said draft Bijan at 10. Only draft Bijan at 10 if you lose on Carter, you move on Will Anderson, or maybe the Eagles don't want to move up, or they don't want to be aggressive and move up past the Bears at 9. I think yeah, you could use that second, first round pick. You could trade one. You could trade that second round pick next year and move up, a good amount of spots to go get Bijan. Kill two birds with one stone. You get your defensive tackle that pairs up with Jordan Davis. That's a nice complementary piece with Jordan Davis in the future. And obviously you get, you get, your running back of the future as well for the next 5 seasons. So, I think it's a good move. Honestly, I would go get, and then if you want to go to the second round, go get Jordan Battle in the second round. Like, I would do that in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? A lot of different things they could do in this draft. A lot of guys available. Jade says, "Hey, what's up, Joey? How you doing? Anything new at work? Just popping in for a little bit." Yeah, nothing much, man. It's been pretty quiet. It's been kind of nuts. Been pretty quiet. It's gonna be it might be like this for a bit until the draft. Who knows? I think there's still more signings as of right now. When it comes down to it, you still have, you got to get a defensive end. You got to get 2 defensive tackles. You got to get an outside linebacker, and you need a safety right now. As much as I like Reed, Jalen Mills just got signed. He got re-signed today by the Patriots. He had a tweet out yesterday. I was going to do a video on it. I was like, I don't really care too much. At this point, I'm like, I didn't want him to come back to the Eagles as a starter. That's what I didn't want to happen. As a depth guy, sure. And some Eagles fans were fighting with me over that too. Like, why would you want him to start? What? I'm like, I don't want him as a cornerback. And as a depth safety, that's where I would put him. But he wants to be a starter. If the Eagles were done, then I don't know. But Adrian Amos is still out there right now. Has played for Sean Desai in the past when he was in Chicago. So, and Amos is probably the best guy that's out there right now, besides, as a free agency, Amos and Kevin Byard for trade. So there's definitely some guys out there. Amos is a veteran, will be a veteran presence. I don't think he's going to play at some high, crazy level, but as a role playing good safety in the defense, he can make plays for you, so he's been in the league a while. So I think there's some good things to take out of it. Yo, Joe, what's going on? Much love, Cole's apologize. Man, been seeing all that. Torres says Byard would probably be around 8 to 10 million. Eagles won't pay that. I like Byard, but the Eagles don't value safety money-wise, just like linebacker. Well, if they don't value safety-wise, they're going to have to draft one. They're going to have to. I don't believe their Eagles are going to take a safety with the 10th overall pick. I just don't see it happening. As much as I honestly don't. I think Adrian Amos will be a Philadelphia Eagle. I think they're going to not bandage the position, but I feel like they're going to at least fill it up this year and get something done and get a veteran presence in there, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Earlier, I would say, Joey, I saw a mock draft and getting a hybrid edge linebacker. Would you get hybrid in the first? I would not. Nah, I'm not trying to get a hybrid player unless it's like a Van Ness or something, which I like Van Ness a lot because he could play defensive end, defensive tackle. I would definitely move that guy around if you get a defensive lineman that can move everywhere. I love guys, the guys that could do that are great. But Carter, too, is another one you could move from a 1 to a 3. You can't, I don't think you're going to be moving them from, the defensive tackle to defensive end, but you're going to be doing a lot more things with them, which is pretty cool. Chris says, my buddy on the Eagle staff said no one knows what Howie wants to do. Leon says Howie will definitely getting another safety. Ain't no way in hell he's done. It's still a lot of defensive players on the free agent. Yeah, I feel like there's too many. I feel like they get another playmaker. I feel like they can get another playmaker at defensive end. I think they'll be set. And then I think defensive tackle, you sign one and then you draft one. And then you go get an outside linebacker and a safety. And I think you're set after that, really. Chris says, don't believe anything you hear because Howie will never tip his hand. No, never. Eagles for life. So I listened to Derek Gunn talking about from what he knows. He said that the Eagles won't draft a running back in the first round. That's what I'm talking about, dude. You can't believe any of that. How would someone get that news? And why is Bijan? Bijan's probably the 6th draft visit, but still, he's the first actual weapon. What are the pre-draft visits right now for the Eagles? Right, the official visits. Broderick Martin, Parrish Johnson, DeJuan Jones, Broderick Jones, Jacqueline Roy from LSU. Like, there's really, like, those are mostly offensive linemen, like one or two defensive linemen. The first, like, actual weapon they bring in is a running back pretty early in the process. If Bijan, I mean, this kind of, it tells you, I mean, do they really bring in players for smoke screens? I doubt it. Why would you waste a visit on a smoke screen type player that you're not going to get? You bring him in, BS him, and then you let him go? Is that how it goes? I guess that's how it goes. I don't know. I'm not sure. So it says, I think the Eagles draft first rounders based on them wanting to keep a player through a second contract for 10 years. Eagles don't value running back, linebacker, and safety in round one to pay big money for. Yeah, I totally get that, man. I totally get that. You take a chance on the guy, you have him for 5 years, and why are you going to keep him for, you're only going to keep him through his rookie contract if you're not going to re-sign him. It just doesn't bring value as drafting a guy in the first round like that. Totally understand that. But when your offense can add more firepower to it, your defensive coordinator is going to have to really make a lot of, it's going to have to be creative. That's just the way it is. It's going to have to be very, very creative. So, Devs Eagle 90, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. And one of these, I think, honestly, we should wait and pick up Keaton Mitchell or Spears later in the rounds. Brandon says, how's your day? It's been good, man. It's I was busy earlier. That's why I couldn't stream at 11 o'clock. So, Kyle says, would you pick Van Ness at 10? William Christmas says, what would you think about safety Taylor Rapp? I wouldn't mind him. I just feel like I feel like they can get a better talent out there. If I feel like drafting Jordan Battle this year in the second round, I would definitely do it. So we'll see. Chris Scott says, watch out for Kyron Johnson. He's a perfect fit at linebacker for Sean Desai defense scheme. He could be our biggest sleeper on defense. Yeah, as of right now, I wasn't a big fan of Kyron Johnson. Coming out of Kansas, running a 4.3, little undersized as a defensive end, but I like that pushback mentality. What he did at the Senior Bowl was amazing last offseason. I like Kyron Johnson a lot. I was a big fan of Kyron. I felt like maybe you're right more than I am. Maybe they should do that, or they move him back to defensive end just to add a little bit more depth to see what he could do. Maybe that's the smart thing. But you could be right because he likes these linebackers in coverage. So maybe they can get the best out of Kyron Johnson going forward. So we'll see. We got the processes. Yeah, why would the Eagles tell Derek Gunn what? That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't believe a damn thing. Like, why would Derek? I mean, they're gonna report it to to get its excitement. It's, oh my god, what are they gonna do? That's just what it is. Yeah, Sidney Brown from Illinois is a really good one. I don't know, a second round pick. Yeah, I say a late second round pick. I like Sidney Brown a lot. I think he's pretty physical. I like how he kind of gets into the receiver a little bit off the line, kind of disrupts the route a little bit. I think he plays big, man. I think he plays real big. I like Sidney Brown from Illinois. Really, really good. I think Illinois, right? Yeah, it is Illinois. Just making sure I'm not screwing anything up here. Leon Garhart says our defense is not complete yet, and Howie knows that. Why not have an unstoppable offense? What's wrong? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Because you're not going to have a loaded defense like you did last year. It's not going to happen. You're not going to have that. Last year's defense with a competent defensive coordinator would have been the best defense in NFL history. I'm not even kidding. Like, if used correctly, this defense would have been a lot more. But because we had a defensive coordinator that didn't know how to adjust, and just we got spoiled last year. We got really spoiled. It's really hard to have a complete team. A lot of teams can't do that unless and to be honest, I think Howie's doing a really good job now. Even the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson thing, I'm starting to even not like it by the day because of his attitude and what he's been tweeting out towards the Eagles, even though he should be mad at himself and that fucking agent that he hired that did his bidding for him. It's kind of nuts. So like some of the NFL announcers are saying we're getting an offensive lineman. I mean, look, if they did that, I wouldn't be mad about it. I mean, why be mad about that? I mean, you got our guys realize something. There's a lot of teams that don't give a shit about the offensive line. You know how many teams that just grab weapons and running backs and do all this shit? You know how many teams don't pay much attention to the trenches offensively? There's a lot of teams that don't do much offense, for the offense. and I'm glad that they do. You know what I mean? We got John Jones, failed drug that says, I've seen the trade a couple of times on Twitter. We got Bucks get number 10, a future fifth, while the Eagles get 19. They're second, a future second, and a future third. They go up to 10 and take Levis, and we take Bijan at 19. I don't think Bijan's last until 19. I got to look at the rest of the list, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be possible to get that done. I mean, maybe I think that trade could get done, but getting Bijan by that time is probably not going to happen. Start saying 99 says slick because Eagles always draft D or O line. We got Beastguard 24. Did you hear about the league trying to lower the market for QBs and they're experimenting with Lamar? You think this might hurt Hurts' payout? I don't know if that even happens this year. I doubt it happens this year, but apparently the rumors of Jalen Hurts' contract as of yesterday, it's going pretty well right now. Obviously it said, well, it could be done this offseason. Yeah, obviously. I mean, they're telling us the obvious. Well, it's got to be done this year. Obviously, they're not waiting until next year to get this contract done. Daniel Jones was paid. We're still waiting on some other contracts right now, but to see what this contract is going to look like, I have no idea going forward, but we'll see. Jay Perez says, would Wagner and Byard not upgrade and draft a Carter? I would be fine with that. I'd be totally fine. Your defense only has to be average this year, okay? Your defense doesn't have to be elite. It doesn't. All your defense has to be is average, make some stops, and Sean Desai has to be creative with this defense. I'm sorry, but players are not going to bail another coach out. It's just not going to happen this year. Let Sean Desai be creative in how to get pressure on quarterbacks. Top 5 in sacks in 2021. Top 10 against the pass. Okay. Bottom 10 against the run, though. That was probably one of the biggest problems with Desai was bottom 10 against the run. And it's really not that bad, to be honest. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm actually pretty pumped about Sean Desai. We haven't seen a press conference yet. I want to get a feel for the guy, see what he's all about. Doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Joe Williams says, Bijan is a generational talent. Dude's going to be a top 5 back in the time we need him more than we know. And especially, he knows this is the best team in the top 10. That's number 1. Okay? Number 2. No teams in the top 10 have an offensive line like this. You know what I mean? This team was just in the Super Bowl, okay? And number 3, like I said, if you guys haven't watched my Bijan video, my huge rant on why we should draft him and why I thought it was a really stupid idea from the start, a couple months ago, and then, start to really think about, what the Eagles are going to do. Because, look, if the Eagles had like $50 million in cap space, then I would say really worry about other things. But since they don't have much cap space, they need to watch that. And they can't make those big moves they made last year. I don't think they're going to make some big trade. I think that there's maybe a move up in the draft. Maybe there's a good chance. But trading for a player for a lot of money, it's just this year, it's just not that year. They did that last year. You know what I mean? This year, this offseason was really about retaining players, really. I haven't even thought about a different player in free agency besides our own guys. This year was really all about retaining. So that's the way it goes. Venom King said, I just hope we take Bijan before the Cowboys do. Yeah, I mean, even though they have Ronald Jones that only played 6 games last year, it still doesn't matter at the end of the day. Mike says, I can see Bijan going early mid-teens, so I'd go for trading back like 1 or 2 picks. If there's rumors that he's going back like mid-teens, yeah, I would trade back. You could trade back that pick, or you move up with that second first, if that's what you want to do. Chris, I did a mock draft, trading back to 17 with Pittsburgh, got 17 and 32, drafted Bijan at 17, drafted Kancey at 30. At 32, I took Ringo. At 62, I took Battle. And the 94 Nathaniel Dell. That's really not that bad, to be honest. Because you kind of get everything you need, like from one draft, really. I mean, you don't have any mid-round picks. We got to remember, there's no mid-round picks for the Eagles. No 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. That's the only thing that's, kind of nuts right now. Yo, what's going on? Yo, long way with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Greedy couldn't stop smiling at his press. Yo, I was really, I did a video on this the other day on my Bijan video. I talked about Greedy as well. I think the Eagles are going to get the best out of Greedy Williams. I really do. I feel like, he's had a lot of down years. He's had some injury issues. He regressed as a player, but could have been the situation, but it was mostly his health too. But when it comes to Greedy Williams, I got to say, man, like he talked about A.J. Brown, and after he signed, they were talking because they used to battle in college all the time. And, I think this training camp, OTAs, joint practices, I think Greedy's going to become a better player because of it. He's obviously not going to start, but I feel like Greedy might be a low risk. There's a lot of low risk, high reward signings potentially that could be good players here. I mean, if Greedy Williams can work out in Philadelphia, he gets, if he plays well, I mean, you can always have a depth guy in the building, or, who knows down the line in the future, you know what I mean? To have in the building if you want. Like, I think the Eagles are going to get the best out of him, and I'm pretty excited about it. Brian said, "Do not draft Van Ness from Iowa because he was a starter." Yacht says, "Joey Shiggs, you see what Derek Gunn said?" I don't care what Derek Gunn said. This is all smokescreen. This is smokescreen season, bro. You know what I mean? I believe what you want. Don't believe what you want. Like, this is what people are going to say, regardless. Benjamin said, "What's the holdup for Hurts' contract?" I don't see a world where the Eagles would wait till next. No, it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done, dude. Just gotta wait, sit tight. It'll get done. Greg Miller says, "Joey, if Sean decides a 25% blitz rate, I'm all in because I was so disappointed in Gannon his 9.5% blitz rate, especially in the Super Bowl. I think the average is 25. I think he's 22 or 23.6. I think that's the number, but it doesn't matter." Regardless, yeah, it's a real shame, dude. Last year, I still think about it sometimes where I'm like, man, last year was such a fucking bummer. Like the way that ended last year, and like Gannon made the excuse in 21 that he didn't have enough talent to fit his scheme, but Jesus, man, crazy, Savvy said, "I think the Cy had a 20. Yeah, it was 22.6 blitz rate. It was. So, I mean, who cares? It's over 20%, right? 9.5% blitz rate. That's just holy crap, dude. How does he have a head coaching job? I mean, imagine if the Cardinals play really well this year defensively. I'd be shocked. I'd be totally shocked right now. Lucio. What's going on, man? He says Hurts is around 50 a year. If he plays great again, no telling how much his agent is going to want. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I heard it was 50 to 54. Then I heard it went down from 45 plus. I don't know what the contract's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be, but Carlos says, "How about Bijan at 10 and then Branch at 30?" Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, really, I feel like they still got to get a trench guy because they need a counterpiece for Jordan Davis. Fletcher Cox ain't going to cut it, man. They need a future defensive tackle right now. They need it like bad. They have to get a trench guy in the first round. There's plenty of safeties to get in the second round that I think are going to be real high caliber. I think Jordan Battle's high caliber. Even Zach Brown from Illinois is high caliber as well. I think he's going to play pretty well in the league. There's options out there. Antonio Johnson from Texas, another guy you can get in the second round. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys at safety you can get. I know first round is first round, but you can get some good second round picks. There's some nice deep positions. Brandon, how about what's going on, man? He says, "Joey, you going to do a Philly Shakedown special for the Super Bowl live stream?" What do you mean? Philly Shakedown special for the Super Bowl live stream? What are you talking about? We're not even near a Super Bowl, unless I'm confused about something. Jen says, I'm trading out the top 10 no matter what. Once you think you got someone draft position figured out, that's when you get screwed. Yeah, I feel like that's the case sometimes when you go out and draft some players and stuff. So should be interesting. So there's news. Thank you, Ryan Roman, as well, for sending me this. Ryan Roman's like my tweet guy because he sends me all the news about the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I look up stuff myself, but he sends me a lot of stuff, which is good. So here's the news on there's 2 bits. So Mike Garofalo put out 2 bits of news as of right now. One, He said, reviewed for the structure for both Eagles cornerback deals, Darius Slay was previously due $17.5 million in 2023, which we knew that. He gets paid $17 million. Now owed $11.65 million this year and $11.64 million next year. In effect, a 2-year, $23.9 million deal, which is about what he would have gotten elsewhere if cut. So that was obvious. So the $23 million gets spread into 2 years, which we knew that. Mike Garofalo put out another tweet 4 minutes ago as for James Bradberry, his contract. As for James Bradberry, his deal pays $18 million over the next 2 years, plus $2 million more in 2024 if he's voted for Pro Bowl or named All-Pro. So the Eagles retain both cornerbacks for $41 to $43 million and change over the next 2 seasons. A per year average of just over $10 million a season. That's really good. So an average of $10 million a season from what both of these guys are getting, that's a pretty good deal. From getting both of your cornerbacks back in the building, you know what I mean? I like it. So a lot going on. Oh, this isn't no. This isn't true. This is all right. So this is fake. Thank God this is fake. So there's this other guy that puts out rumor news, and he's faker than fake. Somebody put out a thing about Rodney McLeod coming back to the Eagles. No thanks. No thanks. Let's see here. We got John Castelloni. What's going on, dude? So Jalen Carter has to be the pick. We have to trade up. Yeah, they might have to trade up for Jalen Carter, I think, because the Bears are a big threat to take him. Will Anderson's going to be gone. If Will Anderson gets to 10, that's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough. Really, really tough. I feel like if Carter's gone and Anderson makes it to 10, I think they got to take Will Anderson. If both of them don't make it, I think you just take Bijan at 10. If Carter and Will Anderson are gone, you're taking Bijan at 10. He's the next best talent on the board right there. No joke. No joke. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's something we have to talk about. I have no idea. Bevan says, you never know. 1 year has been working out for a lot of guys coming to the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, especially on a lot of obviously discounts, which has been really good for the Eagles. Definitely 100%. Cry says, I would rather have Anderson over Carter. Yeah, I mean, I would probably say that too. And honestly, I know that Carter's not going to make it to 10, so I'm kind of expecting him to be gone. Whether it's going to be the Cardinals, whether it's going to be the Raiders, most likely. So, Martin says, I like Tyree Wilson, but we would have to move up to get him. I think Tyree Wilson's move. I think Tyree Wilson's going to be a mid-round, a mid-teen pick. I don't think he's going. I think he's like a mid-teen pick. I don't think he's going to go early as everyone expects. Robert, I'm just not understanding in the first round when our defense, mainly linebacker and safety, are depleted, taking a running back in the first round would be crazy. It's not. It's really not, because I don't think, as much as I'm not a big on, the Eagles never did this in the past, they're not going to do it now. Like, obviously, like linebackers, I don't think they draft one in the first round. And it's not because they just don't do it. It's just because value-wise, they just don't value that position as much as other positions. I think they already got Dean and they got Morrow there now, so they might add another one later on, so who knows. But to add more firepower to your offense, running back could be a weakness going forward too, because Rashad Penny's gone, Scott's gone, and you're down to Gainwell all by himself again next year. So add more firepower for the next 5 years to your running back core. I don't think Howie's comfortable with this running back core. Rashad Penny's got to stay healthy. I mean, if he's hurt, then what is it? If Rashad Penny gets hurt, then what do you have back there? It's not enough. Gainwell's not enough. Scott's not enough. It's just not enough. You want to score 35-plus points a game, And you want a running back, you want a quarterback running back tandem with Jalen Hurts and Bijan Robinson. Yeah, I understand the whole thing about, we're depleted at this position and that position and this position. This is one of those years where you have to change up what you're doing. And for your offense, it's really going to help. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I totally get it. Greg says Jalen Carter and Will Anderson won't make it to 10. They might not. They might not. Brand says, I keep saying the Seahawks taking Carter. Well, the Seahawks already signed. I mean, they might they might take Carter as well. I don't know. They just signed. The only reason I don't have the Seahawks taking Carter now is because they signed that defensive tackle from the Broncos to big money. They signed a guy to big money already. So, you know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to hit that position now because they took care of it in free agency. So I don't think they're drafting a DT. Trust me. Before free agency, I had the Seahawks taking Carter. Now I don't think so, but we'll see. Leon says, just remember how he values the trenches. That's how you win in the league. I get it, man. I totally get it. Ryan Burns says, the more I think about drafting Bijan Robinson is the best option because there are still very decent players to fill the holes in our defense, and we can draft in the later rounds. Yeah, I get it, dude. I mean, we don't have any mid-round picks, but as of right now, man, you can still have another first. You have a second and a third. You should have 3 starters on your football team come out this draft. You know what I mean? Martin says, you think Tyree Wilson will fall past 10? Interesting. I know he is massive, but I haven't watched much. I don't think he's going to go as early as everyone expects him to. I don't. So I wouldn't be shocked. Iron says, D Gun reporting no running back in the first round. Smoke screen. Totally agreed, dude. Venom says, Jacob, y'all should get Gonzalez if he drops. Well, here's the thing, guys. Like, if everyone's talking about, we shouldn't draft the running back in the first round. We haven't done that since the 80s. We haven't drafted the corner since the early 2000s. Okay. But yet everybody wants Witherspoon and Gonzalez. You know what I mean? They're going to do something different this year. It's going to be different. I mean, they don't bring this guy on a pre-draft visit this early. Like, if Bijan was like, what they have 30, they're only allowed, teams are only allowed 30 visits, right? What is it, 30? You know what I mean? Like, you bring in Bijan this early. Why? Jordan Davis was brought in like one of the first 2 visits, and they drafted him. This is we're drafting differently now. We're drafting best player available now. We're drafting, obviously not what best fits the scheme of this player, or we're not drafting a player from analytics. We're drafting a best player available now. We're doing the right things. We're drafting from the SEC. Jeffrey Lurie's taking a step back, how he's not bumping heads with anybody. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Jamie? Philly for Life says Robinson at 10 hands down. My arm says I'm taking Christian Gonzalez over Jalen Carter and Bijan Robinson. I'm not, because I don't think he's the better talent of both. I don't think he's the better talent of both. And what are you going to do? You're going to draft Christian Gonzalez for what? The red shirt for 2 to 3 years? To red shirt for the next 2 years after Slay leaves? You're going to waste 2 years of Christian Gonzalez as a backup? It makes no sense. Drafting the corner now makes no sense because they had Bradbury. When they signed Bradbury, that really gave me all the answers. And obviously redoing Slay's deal. I mean, I love Witherspoon. Witherspoon is the most pro-ready corner in this draft, and love Christian Gonzalez. I don't think they're going to take any of these guys. Doesn't mean they can't take a corner later on. You know what I mean? There's about 13 corners in this draft that are ranked at least a grade 4, a 4th round grade and higher. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, guys. It's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting drafts, honestly, for the Eagles. Having 2 first-round picks it's a big deal, man. It's definitely a big deal. No joke. Venom says, yo, Joey, should we draft a punter on the 7th? I mean, yeah. I mean, Aaron Sipos is a whole nother issue right now. And, yeah, I get it. Stewart says, NFL Network mock draft last night. Tyree Wilson when the Eagles, to 7. Whatever. Mock drafts are mock drafts, dude. Mock drafts don't mean a damn thing. Mock drafts are just entertaining. That's mock drafts are just literally for entertainment. Nathan Rodderball says, I believe that our running back position is a bit more important because you need to reduce as much pressure off of Hurts and then trade up for DT. But in my opinion, you need to take a running back. Sorry. Holy shit. I'm good. I think they have to get a trench guy. As much as like me and Philly 500 are almost on the same boat. The thing is, well, actually, we're kind of on the. Well, I think we are on the same boat because if Carter is there at 10, I think you got to take him. But with that second first round pick, I think they can use that extra second and 24 we got from the Saints trade and kind of move up if that's what you want to do. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's go. Speaking of the Bijan poll, let's look at the Bijan poll as of right now. So we got, would you draft Bijan Robinson? 79%. We got 297 votes. 79% of you say yes. 21% say no. Interesting enough, man. Interesting enough. Richard, Cowboys and Jerry Jones love Texas-based players. They trade up to get Bijan. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. You know? Nate says, why would the Eagles say that what they're going to do? I know. I'm telling you. Oh, I see the Giants 38-7. Oh, they got beat. I don't know. They got beat 3 times last year. They scored over 100 points on the Giants last year. So, and the Giants don't look scary this year at all. I mean, offensively, they don't. Defensively, they really don't either. But, yo, Rock, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. Jamie says, what up? I think Seattle is the trade up to get Carter if going that route, but Bijan my pick because going to be chasing halfbacks otherwise next few years. Yeah, dude, when you find a running back like this, a generational freaking talent like this, I would actually like to see a generational talented running back actually go to a good team in an offensive line. Not like Saquon Barkley that had so much talent and still does, but obviously he wasted like his whole rookie contract with the Giants. I mean, they weren't prepared. You can't just draft a good running back, not have a below average offensive line and think you're going to be successful with it. Because once Barkley gets to the second level, it's almost done. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, what's going on, dude? I like Dell for RC3 and returner. So Zigga says, hey, let's draft Bijan and Gibbs since we don't care about our defense. Stop playing Madden. Greg said, I believe Greedy Williams and Rashad Penny are going to show the critics something they won't believe. I hope so. As much as, Rashad Penny is healthy now. He only played 5 games last year, but he's a better running back than Miles Sanders. He's betting on himself. When he gets to the second level, I mean, it's just ridiculous what he could do with that burst of speed that he has. His vision is insane. He loves contact. He can evade contact, but he actually loves it. He gets extra yards with his physicality, and I like that too. And his stiff arm is like a punch to the face. It's kind of nuts. Thanks. I can't wait until they get Bijan so we can complain about him only getting 10 carries. Well, that's what I said. I said, if they get Bijan, you got to make sure you use him, man. I mean, as for his first year as a rookie, like, I think they have to use Penny. I think they have to use all these guys besides maybe Scott going to special teams and staying there unless someone gets hurt. I think for his first year, they will give him the carries, but they definitely got to do something with Rashad Penny. I would use Rashad Penny as a finisher, man. Tire out defensive lines, and then you can get the pass game going when you tire out those guys. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of good things to take away from having Rashad Penny here. And having Gainwell in the passing game or something like that. That's what you want to do with him. So we'll see. Mon says, people talk about Bijan like he's the only running back in the draft. Why waste a pick early in the running back when the defense needs help? Because it's for the future. It's not just for this year. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're down to the same running back core you were next year. If you want to score, you're not going to have Howie's not going to sign these big players. The draft ain't going to be enough for defensive players. It won't be enough. It won't be enough. To have a generational talent like Bijan Robinson coming into the room for the next 5 years, it's about not this year, it's about the future of this team. going forward. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I was on that, ropes of drafting 2 defensive guys in the first round. Since they're not drafting corner, they're not drafting linebacker, they're definitely not drafting safety at 10. Okay, they're definitely not drafting safety at 10. But, there's a lot of things are going to start changing real quick. There's going to be people pissed at the Bijan. If Bijan gets drafted at 10, people are going to be pissed. I'm only drafting Bijan if Jalen Carter isn't there. I'm still drafting Bijan, moving up with our second first, but I'm still drafting Jalen Carter if he's there at 10, regardless. Like, that's my guy in the first round. That's who I want in the first round. But to have Bijan in the building, I'm telling you, what they could do with him, how much you want to score more points this year, get more weapons, man. Get a weapon like that. 2 number 1 receivers in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, a top 3 offensive line. I mean, you got to take advantage of it. I want to see what Sean Desai could do with a defense that has less weapons, compensate for what we have less. We're not going to have a loaded roster like we did last year. It's just not going to happen. I almost remember that I said we will use one of the next year's 2 second round picks this year. Would you use one of them and trade up for an earlier second this draft? Would you use one of them to trade up for an early second this draft? I think they're going to use. I think there's a big because obviously the compensatory picks. The Eagles should have 11, 12 picks in that draft next year, right? So I think they can actually use that extra second round pick to kind of sweeten the deal on some trade ups. I think that's what they could do as well. I think there's a big chance on that. You know what I mean? So Carlos says people who are saying Eagles don't need a running back are just not thinking. I'm not stupid. Like, I know our defense is more depleted than our offense. I'm not dumb. I know this. Okay. I'm looking towards this year and years to come. That's what I'm looking for. Because what are you going to keep doing? Signing running backs every single year? You know what I mean? Take care of this now. It's done with. You're never going to have the 10th overall pick ever again. You're never going to have a top 10 pick. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to have 2 first round. I mean, you might have 2 first round picks in the future. Who knows? But to have a 10th overall pick right now, and to have capital for next year to kind of move up from that second first round pick, you could get it done, man. So, thanks. And meanwhile, defense can't stop shit, make Bijan useless. Let's do it. Torval says Eagles don't value special teams. They brought back Clay and gave him a raise. They gave Sipos a punting job the last 2 years without competition. The analytics department probably doesn't think it matters. They got to change some things. They got to change a lot with that. They have to change a lot with special teams. And Michael Clay's got to do a better job. And definitely Covey needs competition. Sipos needs competition. Or just straight up cut him. Just cut him. John, what's going on, dude? He says Robinson makes sense. What did we struggle with in the Super Bowl? Running the ball. If we have kept the chains moving by running the ball, we would have won the chip. Even drafting Gibbs would be a fantastic move. Like, not even just Bijan, even drafting Gibbs, you can line him up wherever you want. Like, there's a lot of different things. I'm not saying you draft Gibbs. You draft Gibbs in that second first rounder, no doubt. I think he'll be there. I think he'll be there right where we are in that second first round pick. Even drafting Gibbs would be great, but we'll see what happens, man. I mean, the Eagles bring in. I mean, look, Bijan Robinson goes on a pre-draft visit this early. It's really showing. It's really showing that other teams are gonna have to jump the Eagles for him, and that's what's what they're gonna have to do. Richie says, who is left in free agency to pursue? I mean, Bobby Wagner's still available at linebacker right now. If they want to get another body in there, if they want to get, have Morrow, have Wagner, and have Dean there. They have there's a lot of defensive linemen still left. Quentin Jefferson, that was part of the Seahawks last year, 5.5 sacks, 29 years old. He's still available at DT. Calais Campbell is visiting the Falcons as of right now. You have Leonard Floyd on the edge. They still need one more defensive end. I think one more body should do it. They have Leonard Floyd, Jadeveon Clowney. There's still a lot of guys left at defensive end. Who else? Leonard Floyd, Jadeveon Clowney, Yannick Ngakoue is still a productive player every single year. And then obviously safety, you still have Adrian Amos, John Johnson III still available. Those guys are still available as of right now. So, I think once we get closer to the draft, we're gonna really see like, okay, they didn't hit these spots, so they haven't hit defensive end on another body. They haven't hit defensive tackle is depleted right now. You only have Jordan Davis, Cox, Williams, Milton Williams, and Talapudi Padudi, whatever his name is. I can never say his name right. So it should be interesting, man. Thanks. There's no way we bitched about the defense all year. We sure to get Bijan to make your number one offense more number one. Yeah. There's no promise that you're going to draft. There's no promise if you draft two guys in the first round that Sean Desai is going to have a great defense next year. There's no promise in that. Sean Desai designates where this defense goes. He did a really good job with the Bears in 21. Besides being against the run, he was bottom 10. Like I said, he was top 5 in sacks. He knows how to create pressure. He likes to get linebackers in coverage a lot. Multiple fronts, almost the same as Gannon's scheme. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. Going to be interesting. Yeah, definitely get those likes up. We have 312 people in the chat right now, and I appreciate everybody that's joining me all week. This is day 11 of free agency. Obviously, probably nothing going to happen today, but if you guys haven't liked the stream, please like up the stream as much as possible. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We have videos every single day. We'll have some videos out today, some membership videos out today. Definitely check the memberships in the pinned comment and the live chat as well. Check out the new Discord server as well. I think we have over 300 members in there now. We do voice chats with everybody every few days. We'll do some voice chats with everybody. It's very busy in the Discord. This is my official Discord, which is pretty awesome. And I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited, man. So we're getting some things rolling here, and we're going to be ready to go. I'm trying to get this link in there real quick, and we're good. Okay. Just making sure. That is the Discord link in there if you guys want to join up. Make sure you pick your team in the hashtag pick your team if you are obviously if you're a fan of one of the NFC East teams in that division. So much appreciated, everybody. Henry said, what was the trade with the Saints that landed us that pick? I can't remember. It was the oh my God, why am I having a brain fart? The Saints. What did we? I forgot, dude. I forgot what that trade was. What was that trade for? Did we have a player involved? I totally forgot about that trade. Somebody let me know about the Saints trade. I forgot because it was last season, so I'm trying to remember the whole entire trade that went down that gave us that extra second round pick. I forgot. No, it wasn't CD. It wasn't CD. CD was a separate trade. Mon says we complained about defense last year. Just imagine this year. Yeah, let's not draft Bijan anyway. Dude, we complain about the defense not because of personnel, it wasn't because of personnel, bro. It's because of that fucking defensive coordinator we had. That everybody told me relax. During the year, I was complaining about Gann every single game. We were winning games, but I was complaining every week. Like, I don't like his philosophy. It was philosophy, bro. There was nothing wrong with our defense. It was our defensive coordinator was the full blame of that whole season. The full blame. 14 wins or not. You know what I mean? It was a great ride. I get it, but choked. Totally choked. He got more aggressive going into the postseason. He definitely got more aggressive going to the postseason, but that Super Bowl, man, that Super Bowl took over everything. That Super Bowl was the perfect example of why Gannon should not have been our coach this year. Simple as that. Miami Knights, I think the Eagles might go offensive line at 10 if Harlem Carter isn't available. Unless they trade up with some of their picks from next season. Look, if they drafted if they end up getting like Paris Johnson or something like that, I wouldn't even care, dude, because Lane's getting old. Kelsey's gonna retire probably after this year unless he does it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Martin R.C. Rice, wide receiver 3 in the later rounds is really good value. Trovis, I don't think Bijan is generational back like Peyton Brown, Camel Peterson. I only use a first rounder on a back that would project to that kind of level. I don't know, but I don't know what you guys are looking at, but I'm telling you, if he gets drafted to another team, and I say something about it, that's what's we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I'm telling you, he gets to another team. Yeah, he might look like crap on another team that doesn't have an offensive line. That probably will be the case in the NFL, but we'll see. Ryan says, "Give me Kancey at 10 or trade back at 13 and take him, then Gibbs at 30." I would, like I said, I wouldn't mind Jamar Gibbs. I wouldn't mind. I don't mind Gibbs at all. I like him a lot. I have no problem with Gibbs. Martin said, "Would you trade 30 for Byard? Not sure how that works with our cap space. I feel like Howie will trade this pick an impactful player. Yeah, not for Byard. No, probably not. I'm not trading the second first round pick for a 30 or 29-year-old safety right now. If he was a lot younger, maybe, but not at that age. I wouldn't do it. Plus, yeah, you have to rework his deal. Plus, we don't even know what's going on with Kevin Byard because they haven't released him. There's no been reports of them releasing him, trading him. There's been nothing. So who knows? He might. I mean, if he doesn't take a pay cut, he's going to be gone. Apparently, that's what's apparently going to happen here. We got a super chat from Q Ball says Eagles have 13.9 million in cap space left. I don't think that's right. I think they have less than that. I think they have less than 10 million right now. I don't think they have 13.9. Unless I'm wrong, because I checked out the numbers this morning. Sorry, my allergies are crazy right now. I checked out the numbers this morning, and I don't even think they have over 10 million in cap space right now. But I could be wrong though. Unless it didn't update yet or something. I'm not really sure. You know what I'm saying? Says Joey, what do you think of Bijan 10, Lucas Van Ness at 30 and Battle in the second round? I like Battle in the second round. Bijan at 10, I'm not doing it unless Carter. I'm not drafting Bijan at 10 unless Carter and Anderson are gone. Simple as that. I'm getting Anderson. Obviously, Anderson and Jalen Carter are there. I'm taking one of those two guys. If Jalen Carter's there, I'm taking him. If Will Anderson's there, I'm taking him. I don't even care. I'm taking him. But if they're both gone, obviously, who's the next best player available? It's definitely going to be Bijan Robinson. Demaro says it's not personal. It's not personnel. It was coaching last year. What's the point of going after CJ then? We should be good with Wallace and Reed at safety. No. Reed needs more competition. Had a really good sample size what he gave us. Kavon Wallace is not showing me he's a starting safety in this league yet. Damn, the Jets got Mecole Hardman. Damn, that's a good move. That's a really good move. Wow. 1-year deal. With a chance to make $6.5 million for the year. That's a good move. If they know how to look, he might be a total fail in New York, or he might be a big surprise over there. But obviously, Kansas City knows how to use all these speedsters. It really depends. God, let go of Elijah Moore. Fucking let his ass go, bro. God. Get Elijah Moore out of New York, man. Seriously, like, what? Why do you still have him over there? Aaron Rodgers has his free agent list of receivers he wants to play with. Like, Elijah Moore's wanted out of the Jets the past couple years, man. Just get him out of there, bro. Like, why are they keeping him right now? Fuck, it's ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. Yo, Sua, what's going on, dude? Quez in a third. We don't have I don't know if they're giving up a third. I don't think they're giving up a third. They're gonna have to give up a pick. I don't know. For a third, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna cost that much. I don't think he'll cost a third round pick, to be honest. If he wants out that badly, I don't think he's gonna cost a third. He might cost a pick for next year. Maybe. I don't think you'll have to give up a third round pick. I wouldn't give up a third round pick for him. Especially if you're just we need picks, bro. We don't have 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. No way I'm giving up a third for this year for him. Takes it. Bijan makes our offense better, then it shouldn't matter who's on defense. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's an offensive league, bro. Like, your defense doesn't have to be elite this year. Like, it can literally be average. Make some stops. Sean Desai has to be creative with this defense. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, these players are not going to, you're not going to have players bail out this coordinator like they did last year. And players did bail out this coordinator. No joke. Don't say, I guess people think Gainwell and Penny can get it done. I guess. I mean, look, I have faith that, they could have the core could do really well, but I mean, I'm just not comfortable with Penny staying healthy this year. It's Scott, Penny, and Gainwell. Like, it's good, but I don't think it's the best that we could see right now. I like Kenneth Gainwell a lot, like I do, but I mean, I think the Eagles really like him, but I don't think he's a number one back. Penny's playing for himself this year. You know what I mean? So this is what's golf work, what I miss. Oh, not much, dude. We're just going over everything that's been going on. Like, we're talking about the Bijan Robinson news, all this stuff. Been kind of nuts, dude. Yo, Philly for the podcast. Joe Castro, what's going on, dude? He says, just want to say I'm sorry, Joe. These past 2 days have been crazy for me. I've been so busy, but you're my dog, bro. Keep being. I appreciate it so much, man. Yeah, whenever you want to come on, man, just let me know. I'm not mad. Trust me. Everybody's busy, bro. I get done with work early, so I'm home a lot earlier than others. So I appreciate it so much, man. And if you guys haven't subscribed to Joe Castro, Philly the podcast, make sure you subscribe to his channel, definitely, if you guys haven't. Dude, really happy with Wallace. I mean, Wallace made some plays last year, but like, I just never liked Wallace at all, dude. Like, that's why PFF is stupid, because like they had Wallace as like he was one of the best graded players that year when we drafted him in the 4th round. And that man, all that man does is talk. I like his pushback mentality. I like he doesn't take shit from nobody. Like I like the attitude he's got, but his play got to show. To be a starting safety is just not enough, man. I don't know. Kavon Wallace, dude, I'm sorry, but definitely not. All right, so maybe I'm wrong. So all right, so you're probably right. Whoever said earlier in the chat that the Eagles have 13.9 million. All right, because I looked at the NFL list on cap space this morning, and it said that the Eagles weren't even in the top 10. So I don't know, maybe it updated late. So the Eagles right now have 13.9 in cap space. It counts over the cap. That counts. Slay and Elliott restructures. Kelsey, Cox, BG, Bradbury, and Penny signings. Projected cap hits for draft picks. They still have the possibility of restructuring Lane's deal. Yeah, they can restructure Lane's deal for $10 million. So they could free up like 24. They could free up 10 million. They'll have like 24 million in cap space, and they could get something done. They can make one pretty good signing if they want. Because for the draft, you need what? You need what, 10 million bucks? What, 8 to 10 million, something like that for the draft? Most likely that's what you need, something of that caliber. Maybe not that big of a number, but somewhere in between that, that's what you need. So, there's not much room to deal with at $13.9 million in cap space. So Lane's restructure, yeah, would probably help if they want to make another move. If they can free up Lane, they'll have $24 million in cap space. So they'll be able to make like at least another move for somebody. Whether it's one of the defensive ends like Yannick Ngakoue, Clowney, Leonard Floyd, or they want to go after Quentin Jefferson, which he shouldn't be expensive. Quentin Jefferson had 5.5 sacks last year with the Seahawks. Bobby Wagner, if he wants to be here, he shouldn't be that expensive. But yeah, I think the restructure with Lane would definitely help. There's no doubt about it. No doubt. Yeah, with the restructure, we'll get more cap. Yeah, we'll free up. We'll have 24. If they restructure Lane, it's 24. They'll have $24 million in cap space, which should give them at least another couple moves they could do. Unless one's a little bit more expensive and one's cheap, they could probably do about 2 moves with that amount of money. Dulles says, when a player throws a temper tantrum to get traded, I don't like it when it's just rumored that Philly is looking. Ricky Wars and T.O. burned us. Frankie says, come on, guys, why y'all gotta say something about Joey's hairline? What are you talking about, Joey's hairline? What's wrong with my hairline? I just got a haircut. What I'm talking about. It says 2 options for Reddick and Brown, clear lower cap hit in 3 days per Yahoo article. So they got to take those options. So I read that like last week about the Reddick and Brown situation with their cap hits. So they can lower the cap numbers for both of those guys. But those cap hits are going to be big for the Eagles later on. So there's always a con with picking up an option later on. So it says there ain't a wide receiver in this draft with a top 10 pick. No thanks. 007 says, Joey, the supporting cast around whoever is playing safety will help it tremendously. No, I totally get it. I mean, the good thing is you still got your outside cornerbacks. I mean, luckily you retain, Slay. You retained Slay on a cheaper deal, took a pay cut, and you retained Bradbury on a cheaper deal. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Bradbury's not even Bradbury's the 16th highest paid corner right now. 16th highest paid. He could have got paid like 12. He could have been like the top 11 to 13. He's getting paid, like a top 16 corner right now. That's it. Ghostman Ron says OBJ is going to sign with us just to piss Dallas off for wasting his time. Philip says 60 DBs with 4th round grade or higher, but we're going to stick with Wallace and Reed. Nah, bro, we're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that. No, there's no doubt. The Eagles are one of the hunt for another running back in the draft, someone who can come right in and start, and you would get them for next 5 years. Fills a huge void and hole, and if they could get Bijan Robinson, he's a game changer. That's what I like to hear. That's why it makes sense to me. Everyone's just looking at it as this year. Everyone's just caring about this year. It's not about this year. It's about years ahead. Because Gainwell's contract's going to be up soon. You know what I mean? Like, then what are you going to do? You don't draft the running back this year. What are you going to do? Gainwell's got 2 years left, right? 3? 1? Does he have 2? I don't know how many more years he's got. He's got 2 more years left. He's got this year and next year probably, right? So if you go into next year, Gainwell's on the last year of his deal. You have no one else in the building. Penny's gone. Scott might come back because he always comes back, but he's not the answer. Come on now. Drew said, why are we acting like we got a million holes in this defense? We need safety, linebacker. That's it. Other positions are depth or upgrades. Our offense is loaded. Can't outscore anyone. I think it's really not that bad as everyone sees it. As long as Reed is at safety, get some competition. I mean, they added that Justin Evans. The guy's been injured so much, but they have a nice veteran depth piece at safety for more competition for Wallace and all the rest of these guys. Got to find a safety. Got to find another outside linebacker. I like the Morrow signing the more and more I think about it. I think he's a tackling machine. His coverage is pretty good. He played in a really bad defense last year, had 116 tackles, but they weren't great against the run last year, so he made a lot of tackles. I think Morrow's going to be a really good player. I think he's going to be a nice low risk, high reward player we're going to have here. So I would still add another linebacker regardless. I still think you need another defense. Your defensive end position looks pretty good right now, other than Barnett sitting there. I guess they're going to let Barnett just play, I guess. I like, having Reddick had double-digit sacks. Graham had double-digit sacks. I understand the whole defensive line. Everyone thinks when Hargrave is gone, it's going to make a difference. Yeah, I guess it hurts us a little bit, but Sean Desai is going to have to figure out other ways to get pressure. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have this loaded defense like you did last year. It's just not, it's not turning out that way. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that. Dank says, no, I'm not. Simple logic. If your argument is to make the offense better by drafting Bijan, then why not make a better offense even better by going all offense? Yeah, well, I'm not going to go all offense. I won't go that far and say, oh, let's draft all offense. I wouldn't do that. But we'll see. Not going to build this entire defense in the drafts and just go offense. They got to add defensive pieces, though. Yo, GG, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day. So, yeah, the Eagles have $13.9 million in cap space as of right now. Tell me a reaction, Johnson or Zach Charbonnet in the second round are the thumper type of back we need, and then go defense first two picks. Zach Charbonnet from UCLA is really good. He's a beast. He's a bulldozer. He'll run you over. Love Charbonnet. I'm not just trying to focus on Bijan and Gibbs or just Bijan, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you guys perspective. Like, I used to think it was a stupid idea too until I really sat and thought about it. I turned to the dark side a little bit. Unfortunately, that's what happens. Rogue N7 Dragons said Flowers like the U trade. Second round Saints pick with the 30th pick to move up in the draft. Teams that early 20s and get that safety or defensive tackle. Then the second go get other. You might. I don't know if they get a safety first. That's the thing. I don't think they get a safety first. Frankie said, I'm just excited we're getting either Bijan or Gibbs. I'm good with you. Dude, I'm on the same train as you are, man. Like, I love Gibbs is great. I have no issue with Gibbs. Jake said, drafting on defense isn't about drafting the next few years, so we want to sign corners and linebackers every year. Tommy said, everything you said in your Bijan rant yesterday, I've been telling everyone I know with the same energy we can build our defense back up the next 3 years with the incredible offense. It doesn't mean our offense is going to be bad. Our defense is going to be bad. Like, when you have your franchise quarterback, a top 3 offensive line, Dallas Goedert, 2 number ones, Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are not playing for the next 10 years together. Okay. The next, they'll play the next 3 years together, and that's really it. 3 more seasons with both of them. That's it. Devontae Smith will get a long-term deal here because he's drafted here. He'll get his long-term deal. AJ Brown will walk in a few years. You know what I mean? So you gotta, you gotta compensate for it. You gotta take advantage of what you have in this offense right now. Simple as that. I can't rely on this defense to score points every game. I can't rely on the defense to get interceptions, turnovers. I can't expect it every game. But if you have a high-powered offense and an average plus defense that's just making stops, Sean Desai becomes one of the great mastermind coaches at defensive coordinator, which I hope he becomes, because we can't just load this roster every year. There's no such thing as a complete team. Last year we had a complete team. This year we're not going to have that. We're going to have to compensate for the losses we took this year defensively. We have losses, but we retained some players back. Howie did a really good job this year. So far, just got to give it time, man. Just got to give it time. Frankie says this, but just the fact that they had a meeting with Bijan and not Gibbs says a lot. But not even just having the meeting with Bijan, but having the meeting with Bijan this early. Look who they brought in. These are, and I said it earlier, there might be some new people here. These are the official visits the Eagles had. If I left somebody off the list, please let me know. They brought in Broderick Martin. He's a defensive tackle from Western Kentucky. He's a mid-round pick. They brought a mid-round pick in for a visit. Paris Johnson, best tackle in the draft. DeJuan Jones from Ohio State, another great lineman on that Ohio offensive line. Broderick Jones from Georgia, another one that could be a late first to an early second round pick. Jaquan Roy, a DT from LSU. And that's it. The first actual weapon besides trenches, the first actual weapon, they brought in Bijan Robinson. They didn't bring in Jalen Carter. They didn't bring in Will Anderson. You know what I mean? Like not yet, but I'm saying this early, they brought in, like, why did the Eagles want to meet him this early? That's why I'm trying to get my head around it. It's doing their due diligence. Well, it doesn't mean because the earliest they see that Jordan Davis was one of the top 2 visits and they drafted him. You know what I mean? Now Bijan's not, wasn't the first one that came on an official visit, the first player, but it's just been offensive line and defensive line. The past 5 visits the Eagles have had. Now it's Bijan Robinson at 6 for pre-draft visits. So, I don't know. As it says, Bijan at 10, offense talent is that caliber usually translates to the NFL quicker than a great defensive prospect does. And with our offense and O-line, Bijan would dominate right away. That's what I'm saying, dude. Bijan knows, okay? After Bijan left Philadelphia, he was like, man, dude, is like, this team was just in the Super Bowl. They're the best team in this draft, top 10. They're the best team in this draft, top 10. Okay? And you have a chance to run behind a top offensive line next year. Simple as that. On top of what he brings to the game. And trust me, watching the tape, when those holes are open for Bijan, man, watch out. It's amazing, bro. The toughness, like his cuts, he's just smart. I mean, he's not going to be a guy you're going to line up wherever you want. Like Gibbs will be that guy that you line up wherever you want on the field and could do a lot more with him. With Bijan, man, he's just got great vision and he's just dominating. Like that's all it is with Bijan. It's insane, dude. It's honestly insane. Like, I wish, I respect people for, that don't agree with me, and I get it. At the end of the day, we want this team to get to another championship and win and get their second ring. That's what we want. You know what I mean? This is all fun. This is all entertainment. This isn't like, if I don't agree with you, I'm going to hate you for your opinion. No, it's just, we're all in it together. This is what we do. So, Tuesday, we lost CJ, but we kept Bradbury, Hargrave, but we have Jalen and Milton, and we need to get nastier on defense. Running backs isn't top tier position in the draft. I get it, dude. I get it. I get what everyone's saying. There's 2 sides to it. You know what I mean? Gainwell, Rashad Penny, and Scott. Just take Scott out of it because they barely use Scott as it is. Okay, they barely even use him. They didn't even have him line up as a running back for a lot of games last year. He was just a specialist for most weeks. Okay. Penny and Gainwell. That's it. That's all. Penny and Gainwell. If Penny gets hurt, then what? That's what I'm saying. Like you're like all the pressure is on Gainwell for the rest of the year. He's not a number 1. He's not. And then what they're going to do is they're going to be like, well, we can't give him over 20 carries a game. It's not going to happen. They can't give him. I don't know if they can give him over 18 carries. Like obviously, Gainwell should be like in the 13 to 15 range, maybe something like that. Like at least that. Miles Sanders could have went through the 14 to 18 range or more than that, depending on the day, depending on how the offense is looking. You know what I mean? It's not much, man. It's not much. If Penny like runs and he gets like a little injury and it's a nagging injury and he's out for weeks, yeah, dude. Like that's the whole problem I have with it. Keep your options open, man. You got a good roster on your offense this year. You got a great offense this year. Intact, still intact. You know what I mean? If Howie adds a couple more bodies from free agency, if they free up that money for Lane Johnson, they add a couple more bodies. Say they add, I'm just going to do an example. Say they add they pick up like Leonard Floyd for defensive end, and they pick up Quentin Jefferson, right? Then really you're done with defensive end. You need like one more spot for defensive tackle. You need your starting guy, which they will draft. Maybe you add another linebacker, and then you go for go for Amos, or you draft Jordan Battle or whoever's going to be there, Sidney Brown, whoever's going to be there. I think you'll be good. Like it's not complicated. Like I don't think this is as complicated as everyone thinks that they're making it out to be. You know what I mean? Yeah, the combine interviews I don't take into precaution. Like they can only talk to so many guys because of their availability and stuff. You know what I mean? Because they're meeting other teams. The pre-draft visits are more important than the combine talks. I don't take too much into the combine talks because there are teams that wanted to talk to players, but they couldn't because they were talking to other teams already. You know what I mean? So the combine talks, I'm not really. You could take into account a little bit, but I'm making it. They'll pre-draft official visits. That's where I start to get excited on who they're bringing in. That's where I get a little excited over it. You know what I mean? That's where I go. That's where I go with all of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I think there's some good things to take out of it, bro. Some really good things to take out of it. Ghostman Ron says, if we don't draft Bijan, and mark my words, Howie is trading our third for Eichler and signing him to a 3-year deal. Eichler wants more money, dude. Eichler wants more money. See, why do you want to make a move like that? Trading for Eichler. You have to trade for Eichler, right? Why are you going to trade for Eichler? You're going to get picks for him. And Eichler is playing at the top of his game if he can stay healthy. And he's got a health issue too. Like, you got to give up draft picks. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to give up draft picks for Eichler. You got to trade for him. And then you got to hope he doesn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Like, you can't escape from getting a running back in this draft. You can't escape from drafting Bijan Robinson. You can't escape from it because it's all almost pointing to this decision. I'm telling you, dude. I am telling you. Let's see here. I need to go down this chat. I know I'm very far in this chat. I apologize. Kyle says, with the Jets getting Mecole Hardman, do you think it's possible for us to trade for a lot? I mean, just let him go, man. Just release him. Just release him. Hey, look, if you want to, look, you know what you could do? I mean, you could try to move some money around if you really want to try to be creative. Restructure Lane Johnson. If you want to trade for Elijah Morris, if it's, I'm hoping it's not expensive. Obviously, Joe Douglas and Howie Roseman have a nice relationship, so maybe that would help into play with it. Trade Quez Watkins for a fourth round, a third. I don't know. I don't know if trading Quez to maybe a third or fourth. I'm not sure, man. To get Kevin Byard to the Titans. The Titans need wide receivers, so I mean, maybe it could work out. Everyone's like, oh my God, our defense is so depleted. Dude, chill. It's the second week of free agency. Like, we're still in the process. Like, everybody's flipping out. Like, we got some time, dude. We got some time. You understand? Like, not even just the draft. Like, the Eagles they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson late. They picked up Chauncey late in the offseason. You know what I mean? No, they didn't draft. No, he's a 5th-round pick out of Memphis. Gainwell's not a high draft pick. He's a 5th-rounder. That's why he was such a steal in that draft. He should have been drafted at least like early 3rd round, probably. He should have been like a 3rd-round pick that year. That was a huge deal. When I heard Kenneth Gainwell's name from Memphis, I was like, this is going to be a good player for us. This is going to be a good player for us. And he's a good player, and I think the Eagles do like him. I just don't think it's the move for the future. Plus, he's got 2 more years left on his contract. Yeah, I don't think getting Eichler makes no sense. Xavier says, Joey, you thinking bringing in Bijan was a smokescreen? No, but why would you waste one of your official visits on a running back? Like, why would you no, not to say it like that. Why would you waste one of your official visits on just wasting it in general. Like, why would they take that time to waste in a visit? You only bring in 30 players. I think it's 30. I think that's the number you only bring in. I mean, I guess it could be, but why like fly him into Philadelphia, go through all that? What they just like, oh yeah, sorry, Bijan, but you're just here because you're just a smoke screen. I want people to think we're taking you, so you just sit in the room for an hour and then you can go on your way back to Texas. It makes no sense. Eddie says no one's saying not to draft DT, but if Carter is gone, then get Bijan and the dude from Pitt. Yeah, Kalijah Cansey. If Carter and Anderson are gone, I'm getting him. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. My landlords are here right now, so no one is saying that not to draft DT. Yeah, no, I think if Anderson's gone, Carter's gone, I think there's I think you draft Bijan. I think that's your move. I think that's your move. You're not getting a cornerback. It's not happening. So see, Dank says all these people saying we can't help our defense this year, but we argue that Bijan about the future. Let's see here. Let's see. Thanks. I would draft a running back in the draft, however, not in the first. I get it. I totally get it. I don't know if we can afford Byard. He's getting paid like 13.3 million for the year. So that's a lot of money. He's getting paid a lot of money right now. I don't know if it's even possible. His cap number is huge too for the Titans. How much of that are they going to take over? So he's getting paid a lot of money. For the next 2 years. He's getting paid 13.6 or 13.3. He's getting paid over $13 million the next 2 years, which is kind of nuts. You know what I mean? Those are the same guys saying we don't need Bijan. The same guys that wanted to throw Hurts into a trade together. Thanks, man. Russell Wilson. Jamie says, I don't think Titans are ever going to trade with us again. Maybe not. I don't know. Eagles fans said, Joey, I don't want to hear your mouth when the defense can't stop anybody, and you're the first one that's going to destroy it, so don't ban me. I'm warning you now. I'm not going to – dude, I'm only going to come – the only time I'm going to complain about the defense this year if it's our defensive coordinator that's not getting it done. That's really it. Us drafting defensive players this year is not – it helps our defense, but it's not going to – you can't put it all on drafting personnel. Yeah, it's part of it, but it's on the coaching at the end of the day. It's on the coaching. And number two, I could complain about whatever I want. So, yeah, that's how it goes every year. Simple as that. So, that's where I go. Jay said, what up, Joey? Nolan Smith. Opposite Reddick would be killer. Would be nice. Thanks to because they only have 30 visits, they don't draft everyone they bring in. No, well, obviously they don't. But if you see this early that they bring in a player like Bijan Robinson, does it mean that they have less interest or do they have a lot of interest? That's the question. Yeah. Saying that when Eagles fans complain, saying that Eagles fans don't complain is like saying a baby doesn't cry, bro. Like literally, it's in our nature to complain about shit. That's what it is. The reason why I did this because I complain about a lot of shit. Like when I started YouTube, the reason why I did this, well, number one, I don't have any Eagles fans in New York. That's just the way it is. And number two, I wanted to vent about what I feel about this team and to talk to people about it. That was the reason for it. Chris Scott said, who says we won't sign Byard and draft battle in the second? Our safeties will be set, Reed, and a third safety. They got that other guy they brought in too. That safety from I forgot his damn name. I just forgot his name. Thanks. Okay, take Bijan 10. Our defense just has to be okay, so we're good with Wallace. I mean, they're going to get another guy, dude. We still have picks in this draft. So there's only so much they could do because I think they're going to draft an offensive lineman, but not having 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, it definitely hurts. I really wish we still had that 4th round pick we gave away for Robert Quinn, which really sucked. Really did. Let's see here. Andrew says, also, who's going to replace Samal? I wouldn't mind grabbing Osiris Torrance at 30. I'd rather. Nah, dude, it's going to be Cam Jurgens, bro. Everyone's like, is everyone forgetting that we have Cam Jurgens? Like, Cam Jurgens is going to be a beast, bro. It's going to be a beast. Originally, Cam Jurgens was supposed to play center all offseason, well, guard next to Kelsey all offseason last year. But when Kelsey had the elbow, the orthoscopic surgery, the cleanup in his elbow, they had to move him to center the rest of the offseason. I feel like he's going to be great, fantastic. And hopefully he doesn't play that good at guard, so then we don't make him a right guard. We have to go find a center again because Dickerson was supposed to be our future center, and look what happened. You know what I mean? So Tom said grab Bijan 10, trade pick 30 and plus 24 second to move up for Cansey or vice versa for these two players. I wouldn't mind that either. As long as they get a trench guy, I don't care. They need somebody next to Jordan Davis. They need someone to complement Jordan Davis. They can get that. I think they're set. Chris said we don't need cornerback. We need safety, defensive tackle, and running back. Yeah, we need safety. We need to add another linebacker. As of like crazy need right now, defensive tackle, safety, and obviously as much as running back on paper isn't the biggest, huge need on paper, but when you're looking at it from this year for the next 5 years, you're going to need a running back. You're going to have to draft one soon. I know people are talking about Tank Bigsby. People are talking about Zach Charbonnet and all these other guys. We don't have mid-round picks. We might not even – you're not just going to draft those guys early just because you don't have those picks. We don't have those picks. You know what I mean? We don't have any of those mid-round picks. We have nothing. You have 2 7th rounders. You have 1, 2, 3, no 4, no 5, no 6, 2 7s. That's all you got for the year. Chris Graham says Gibbs will be more explosive and he's a late first, second. How it can restructure Byard's contract. Let's check out Kevin Byard right now. Well, we already know his cap number and how much he's getting paid. So I'll say that real quick. Let's check that out. We'll check that out real quick. I'll share this so it's not boring of me talking about it and you can actually see it, which would be pretty good. All right, Kevin Byard's contract here. Okay, so yes, we are in 2023. Okay. Kevin Byard. Okay. Making $13.6 million this year. It's a lot of money. His cap hit is 19.6. Big cap hit. If they release him pre-June, they'll save $6 million. If they trade him after June, they'll save 14, which is a big number. If they restructure, obviously a restructure with Byard coming to Philly, if we get him at this cap hit, they could save $9.3 million from it. Still has another a year. I think that's it, right? Unless I'm wrong. No. So he's got 2 more years. So he's got 3 years left on his deal, including this year. He's got 3 years. His cap hits get a little bit smaller, a little bit, not by much. He still gets paid 13.6 the next 2 seasons, this year, next year. So with a restructure, you'll save $9.3 million. So I guess, they could do that as well. You're going to sign him and then restructure him. I mean, if that's what they're going to do, I don't know. But should be interesting. Those on how his drafting philosophy has evolved over the past couple years, nothing would surprise me. Flawless Flies does not make not a smokescreen at all. Running back has become a huge need for Eagles this year after losing Miles Sanders. I believe they will take a running back for the first to third round, depending on how the draft falls. If first, Bijan. Playboy said, Weston, what's your thoughts on CJ saying the Lions have better talent? Dude, he's just the number one thing is he's pissed off. He's pissed off at himself and he's pissed off at his agent. And he's pissed off because the Eagle fans have been attacking him for making the decision that he made. It is what it is, man. Like, he had a lot of shit to say. I'm already done with it. I'm finished with it. So, yo, Dag, what's going on, dude? Child said, if we don't draft Bijan, I hope we get Gibbs, Charbonnet, Akino, Tucker. Dante said, I'm watching at work right now, but even though I love Bijan, I take a chance on Carter at 10, then Branch at 30, our second back, and take Tank from Auburn. The problem is Tank should be what? A third-round pick this year? A late second? I mean, where are you taking Tank, though? We don't have fourth, fifth, sixth-round picks, though. I don't want us to just draft a running back. If they don't go after Bijan or Gibbs, I don't just want to draft a running back a lot higher than what they're supposed to be just because we don't have the picks. Because that's going to be a bad decision. That's going to be a bad decision of where they should be drafted on the board. You know? Justin Evans. Yeah, we have Justin Evans as another veteran depth piece at safety. Been hurt a lot, but we'll see. Chris says we don't need edge in this draft, but if Anderson is there, you can't. Nah, like that's the thing, Chris. I totally agree with that. If Carter's gone and Will Anderson's at 10, you got to take Will Anderson. I mean, you got to take him. You got to take him. Plus, Graham's leaving after this year. Graham might retire after this year. You know, Barnett's going to be gone. You're going to have a couple pieces missing at defensive end. You're not going to have as many free agents as you had last year, but you know your offense isn't going to get completely. Besides Kelsey, really, I don't think there's. I think you're good. Besides Kelsey and obviously Scott leaving and Rashad Penny leaving, your offense is still intact for even the year after. You know what I mean? But if Will Anderson is there and Carter's gone, you got to take one of those guys. Even if you're good at, you can move some guys around. Even if you're good at defensive end right now, I think you still got to take him. I think you still got to take him. If you need another body, you still got to take him. I wish we had the fourth back from Quinn. Can we return him? I wish we did, bro. I wish we did. Jay says that definitely train back one of them first. Howie isn't going to be twiddling his thumbs from 94 to 220. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. Moose, do you think a third would be enough to trade for Elijah Moore? I would love him in the slot, have Quez fear for his job, and improve. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get rid of Quez Watkins. I think they will keep him because he is pretty cheap. He's like a little bit over $2 million for the year, so he's not expensive. But at the same time, you know, they got to give him some type of competition because he had a big down year this past year. Beginning of the year, he was great. And then he kind of got phased out. I understand he had like this grade 2 shoulder sprain, and they were using more Zach Pascal and double tight end sets with, you know, Jack Stahl and Grant Calcaterra, you know, but we'll see. Dome says, why do you keep saying Wallace going to start, but you know he ain't going to start? You act like he's a free agent is over. G says, do you guys see how he's using both first-round picks? I'm thinking he trades out the 31st. He might. It might happen. It actually might. If there's a lot of players still on the board and he can move back for some extra mid-round picks, it could be a possibility. 30th pick, not 31st. Yeah, 30th. I will blow my house up if the Eagles draft an offensive. Don't be surprised, dude. I mean, don't be surprised. You know what I mean? And it's not a bad move. You know, it's not a bad move at all. Is it a sexy move? No, it's not. It's like, wow, really? But at the same time, you got to give this team some respect for taking care of the trenches, man. You got to give some respect, man. You know what I mean? Interesting enough. And this is interesting, too. Someone tweeted out, too. And this is really interesting. Antoine Winfield and Jeremy Chin have 1 more year left on their deals. They have 1 more year left on both of their deals. And those are big Howie moves as well, if you wanted. So I think Nicholas Morrow had his press conference with the Eagles today. Yeah, I think he did. Steve said, you think Howie isn't going to trade? He'll probably trade 30th and act as our number 10 as our first round pick like every other year. Yeah, that might be the case too, man. That might be the case as well. Maybe after June 1st. No, after June 1st, I don't know. Like, the problem is, like, they'll save more money by trading him after June 1st. They'll save less money if they just release him right now. So they'll save $6 million by releasing. They'll save about $14 million if they trade him. That's where it's kind of going. Plus, I'm telling you, Nolan Smith is going to be a monster. Yo, Scoob, what's going on, dude? Enjoy your day at work, by the way. Enjoy your day. Don't get fired now. Tom said, Eagles better not believe Bijan is going to fall to them at 30. You have to move up for that man. And I said, we also need a new linebackers. Morrow in depth at best. Maybe Miles Jack would take 1 year deal. He has the size to make up for Dean. Let's see here. Kyle says, I think Barnett will have a good year and we'll extend him. No. I hope he has a good year if he's here. Obviously, I don't want to, you know what I mean? But, nah. Ron says, just stopped in, brother. Miss anything? Hashtag draft 5. Miles says, every GM from every team is taking a mental note on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and now he is when things don't go his way. I don't think at this point any team is going to give him a long-term contract. Ghostman Ron says, draft Bijan, sign OBJ, and boom, we have the best offense in the entire league. Screw OBJ, bro. I don't want OBJ. I don't want OBJ. Yeah, so if you could get Winfield for a number 30, do that in a heartbeat. So I was hoping they'd make a move for Chin. It does seem like a Howie move. Says someone just put this on Twitter, 10 for more and 13. What? Why? Daz Deals is on the train. He's on the draft 5 train. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dad says Howie draft Bijan 10, trades away 30 to the Titans and gets Byard. Titan fans jump out their windows everywhere. Hell yeah, dude. I wouldn't mind that. John said whoever 5 is, they won't be in 5. They won't be 5 in Philly. That number is retired. So yeah, it's getting to a point now. Paris Johnson had his pro day today. Damn. Paris Johnson is fucking fast, dude. He's fast. His movement is like he's pretty quick. Holy cow. He's pretty quick, man. Dome says how a guy that had 118 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions is a depth player. I don't get it. No, he had a good year. He had a good year on a bad team. I mean, statistically, he had a good year on a bad team last year. He was actually when he was undrafted, he was a safety turn linebacker. He was a safety coming into the league, and they switched his position. Paris Johnson at 10, book it. Aaron says Paris looked like a lot like Lane, super athletic. Jalen is not hurt. Says Greedy can switch to safety if he need him to. I'm interested to see if they actually cross-train these. I know Josh Jobe did. I know Josh Jobe actually cross-trained last offseason, but they didn't do nothing with it, though. I know they didn't do anything with it. So Should be interesting, though. I get it, bro. But yeah, it's gonna be nice, man. I'm pretty pumped. We're gonna go for another 10 minutes. We're not gonna make this a long one today. Today was just a really bad day because I couldn't stream at 11 today earlier. I would have done a 3-hour stream today. But I have some other content I need to do for the day. I want to get it done before like tonight, comes around. I want to do something for the definitely more draft stuff tonight and more stuff. So we'll go for another 5-10 minutes. And then we'll probably end for the day. Nothing crazy. So yeah, so I mean, we're just gonna sit. I'm gonna watch the Morrow press conference. I'll watch that press conference, and we'll have some videos out today on some potential trades, potentially some other stuff going on. So be pretty good. So I hope you guys don't mind the long videos. I always get kind of nervous when I put out long videos, like because people dude, look, I can't watch a 20-minute video, 15-minute video. I try not to put them that way. I try to make them at least 8 minutes if I can. Obviously, for YouTube purposes and stuff. Obviously, I like to make them a little bit longer and put everything in one video as well. But Dad, so that's why we got to go get Bijan the tan going to Howie. We hear it. If we get it, that sucker filled up. Brand says Jalen Hurts will get into Howie's ears and tell him he wants Bijan Robinson on his team. I wonder, man. And they have the same agent in Nicole Lynn, which is pretty cool. Like says, Titan fans would have a celebration if we gave up 30 for Byard. Yeah. Well, it's not giving up 30. You're just switching first-round picks with them. You're not giving them a first-round pick and getting nothing and getting a player. You're switching first-rounders. That's all you're really doing, for more picks. Ryan says, facts that Bijan Hurts have the same agent. Definitely, bro. Sean says, I hope we draft Jordan Battle. We definitely need him. I think it could be realistic. At 64, 62, wherever we are, I don't know if that's a good spot, but you never know. Jay says, Joey, you should do a PFF mock draft while you're streaming. Yeah, not today. Another day I'll do it. There's plenty of weeks left. I'll definitely I'll do a mock. I'll definitely do. I didn't really do many. I don't think I even did a mock last year. I think me and Philly did a mock. I know he does mocks on his. I haven't done a mock I did one like a couple days ago on my own, but I did some stupid trades too to see what would go through. Ryan says Jordan Battle will go in the 3rd or 4th. He ain't in that same league as Brian Branch. Jesus, what kind of agent does Jalen have, Joey? He has a female agent. Oh God, people got so mad when I said that. I'm like, no, I'm just saying, like, people don't know that he has a female agent. Like, people just don't know. Maybe it was just to let everybody know, like, why does it matter if he has a, like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not being sexist or anything like that. Like, chill. I'm just chill. People. That's a wait. The Jets got, the Jets got Mecole Hardman, man. They're loading up, dude. They loading up. You know what? I can't stand teams that do this shit. Like, that's why the Jets are never going to go anywhere. Year after year after year after year, all these different quarterbacks. They're going to go get Aaron Rodgers. Like, obviously, they have to be in the Super Bowl this year, right? I mean, you make all these moves, you're obviously, this is the reason you do it. I mean, every team wants to get in the Super Bowl, but when you make a move for Aaron Rodgers and you're picking his wide receivers he wants to play with and all this other crap going on, the Jets, man, they don't know how to build a team. We got to face the Jets this year too. Could the Eagles lose against the Jets in the first time in NFL history? I hope not. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is even that great anymore, to be honest. But, he had a young offense last year, but he wasn't specifically great either. I live in New York, so I hear about Jet fans every freaking day. I hear it all the time. You know what I mean? Well, here's some moves, guys. It looks like with the Mecole Hardman, and this is brand new, so it looks like Corey Davis and Elijah Moore are most likely to be moved. Interesting. That literally just came out. Shout out to Dagger for that news. I think Dagger came out with that news. Thank you for that, for sending me that. Elijah Moore could be moved. I got it, bro. I got it. You're good. The problem is with the Jets, they still haven't traded for Rodgers yet. Like, they're doing all this stuff and they haven't traded. Wow. Interesting. I don't know, man. I'm pretty pumped. So we're gonna get going. We have 250 in here. I want to watch some of these press conferences. I want to get some videos done. I got a lot of stuff to go over today on trades and other stuff going on. Appreciate so much for that news, Dag. I didn't even see that. See, that's why people, they got my back here. So we have 247 in the chat right now. If you guys haven't liked the stream, please like up the stream as much as possible. Obviously not a long stream today. It was my fault. I just got busy. I've been streaming like 10, 11 days straight. So sometimes some things get in the way. But tomorrow will be the same time. We'll stream at 11 o'clock tomorrow and talk about, obviously potential moves that can happen with the Eagles and more stuff. We'll be streaming every day this week. We'll be doing all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We'll have more content out today, membership vids as well. Check out the memberships in the pinned comment and in the live chat below. Make sure you check out the Discord. Let me put the Discord link in there real quick because it refreshes all the time and it's really annoying sometimes. Make sure you join the Discord as well. We have Eagles. I do voice chats, like group chats with everybody. So definitely check out those as well. And we'll be thank you, Gigi. Thank you, man. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, man. We'll be back tomorrow doing our thing. And I'm sorry for a long stream today. Today we just got some stuff got in the way. And we'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic day. More videos out, all that great stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD, file slot. Peace out, guys. Peace out. Enjoy your day, guys.